Deserved win in your view?
Yes, I think it was a good game. Again, a very good team. And I think we compete really well today. I'm so happy, so pleased. I think the players deserve the whole credit. And yes, so happy for our player. That is the most important thing for me.
Your first goal came from a set piece. Was that something that you targeted with Spurs? Because they've had problems recently defending them.
I think we are in a good place. I think we have amazing professionals working in set pieces. But of course, it's so competitive Premier League that you can concede, you can score. But I think the most important today that with all the circumstances, I think the team really show in the way that we want to build, this way to play.
And Postecoglou said he wanted his team to be high energy today, but you made sure that they couldn't be that in the first half. How pleasing was that side of it for you?
The first half was fantastic. I'm so pleased. But and them is to contain, and to suffer, all the action that Tottenham have really quality player. I think in the way that we compete the second half, also please more. So happy. Not too much to say. It's all the credit for the player.
Up to 8th in the table now, 3 points off 6th place. Not a bad season in prospect in what is obviously a transitional season.
Yes, I think you can say that. Everyone can that understand a little bit football can appreciate and see the way that we are working with too many negative things, too many difficult circumstances, but that we have because we proved in England after 10 years that always we never give up and we have the capacity, always to find the positive thing to keep pushing. And
I know that you said this was going to be an emotional night for you, given your connections with Spurs. How was it on the emotional front, getting the win against them?
To be honest, I was directly to the referee, my player, and then inside I didn't see nothing. Sorry.
But just finally, this can help with the fans as well, because you know what a big game Chelsea against Spurs is. So for you to help win them over?
No, I don't know. I cannot talk about the fans.
Goal is standing by to chat to us. Trevor, what a fantastic match tonight. You opened the scoring, Chelsea back to winning ways, and a clean sheet to boot. Tell me all about that performance.
Yeah, it was excellent, and what the manager's been saying recently in the press of our consistency and managing situations in games. And I think the second half in Aston Villa was a level that he said that we need to be at every single game, and the boys were really pumped today. As you know, it's a massive derby, massive game, and yeah, I think we showed that today.
Those set pieces, especially the one that led to your goal, was that, as Gary has been saying, you'd been working on that in training. He spent plenty of time on the training ground. Was that what happened in the build-up to this game? Is it something you concentrated on? Yeah,
most definitely. It's what we've been working out throughout these few days, and we saw that there was space for the back post with Cucurella. Credit to him for getting the block in for me. And yeah, we've been working out in training. I've been working on my head in, and finally it's gone in.
First goal since March 2022. How did that feel?
Oh yeah, unbelievable. As I said, it's the most important, the clean sheet. As a defender, that's my main aim, to get a clean sheet, and the team dug in together.
Trevor, it's Gary. Congratulations, mate, especially on the finish, superb finish, and like you said, a clean sheet as well. I thought you took control of the back four tonight and showed real leadership qualities. Do you think in your progression now that is your next step in your role? Even you're still at, 24 years old? Still at a young age. Is the next progression for you to kind of be that leader?
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously playing alongside Thiago, I've been learning from him since playing on my debut, been watching him on and off the pitch, and as a player like that, I aspire to be like him. Obviously, he hasn't played today, but it's important for me to step up. Obviously, I've been longer than a couple of the new lads, and yeah, as you said, it's important for me to step and as a defender be loud, be vocal, help the boys out there. As you know, as defenders, the more we talk, the easier it's for the midfielders and other lads to do the job.
I thought it was excellent, mate. Well done.
Cheers.
Glenn, did you have a question?
Yeah, Trevor, do you realise, as a team, not you individually, but as a team, some of the bigger games that you've played against, Man City 3 times this year, the bigger the game, you guys respond. It's the best performances I've seen all season. It's the sort of mid-table and the bottom teams where you've probably let yourself down a little bit this year. Would you agree?
I think, yeah, most definitely. And it's smaller teams that we played against, and that we need to have the same level, and that's when the consistency comes in. While we've been up and down Because you know, when you're playing against the Uniteds, the Cities, the Tottenhams, everyone's automatically all pumped for the game, and I think we need to show that level every single game, and it starts from training, you know. And as you said, we need to just carry on. This is the type of performance, this is the level that we know we can get to, and we need to keep up.
Yeah, Trevor, just final question. The second goal, it was scored by Nicholas Jackson, we know that. But talk about Cole Palmer, because he has that initial free kick, it hits the woodwork, and just his overall performance and what he's meant to Chelsea this season.
Oh yeah, Cole has been unbelievable. I think no one really expected that. And you can see the levels in training. What you see in games is not a surprise to us, because in training is exactly the same. And obviously we all thought the free kick went in, but as strikers, you know, Nico was alive to it, he was first there, and so yeah, it was good.
All right, enjoy the victory. Thank you so much, Trevor, for your time, and well played today.
Cheers, thank you.
Like when you ruin someone's birthday.
Sorry, Trevor. He deserved it though, didn't he?
No, he was brilliant. I said to you at the start, I was concerned sometimes with just the chopping and changing in the back line, and just, again, like, I find that's been difficult for them this season, but it was perfect tonight. He was amazing, it was flawless, and he got his goal, and like you said, it just clicked tonight here at Chelsea.
It was an interesting question, Jamie, which I'm going to hold on to, because I could just see over your shoulder that the manager is on his way. Here comes Mauricio Pochettino on what must be a really pleasing night. Congratulations, Mauricio. Thank you so much for joining us. We're a little cold, but we certainly enjoyed... It's May, but we enjoyed watching that game tonight. What did you make of it?
No, we enjoy also. If you win the game, I think you enjoy more.
Were you a bit worried
about
going into the game, because you had so many injury problems? You had 14 players missing tonight.
Always, if we have some positive things, not too many, that always we believe and we trust, you know, in our player. And even with the circumstance that we were today, we really believe that it's an opportunity to show that we really believe in what we are doing, in our ideas, in our philosophy. And yes, face a team like Tottenham never easy. And it's a derby. We understand that it's a derby. But today was fantastic. I think the full credit to the player, the full credit, because in the way that they approach the game, in the way that we play the first half, in the way the efforts and the way that we defend, in the way that we try to play, I think it's fantastic. I think it's my first time, I think, that in the season that I really feel so happy, because it's the moment that after 10 months that the team really start to realize how we need to compete, and I think today we compete really well. Again, a great team.
Felt like it clicked, didn't it? And has this been your best performance from your team here tonight?
I don't know if it's the best performance, but the most important is the feeling. With all the negative circumstance, that show that we are doing things well, but only was the click to say we need to compete better. But how? Be connected with the game, defending. If you see today, Noni Madueke was amazing, no? In the way, the effort, how helped the fullback, the midfielder. I think the whole team was in both phases. Was connected with the game.
Sort of talking about everybody taking part in the game, whether they're attacking or defending.
Yes, exactly. A few weeks ago and the whole season we were talking, what happened here? No, in Chelsea, what happened here? It's only one phase that we want to play all into the feet with the ball and then run the defensive line or run the midfielder like this. That was unbalanced a little bit the situation. The standard, were so low. And all that process that we were talking is about time and some luck to have this type of result that help, to really believe to the player that is the way.
And because to the fans as well.
Well, the fans is another question, but fans...
Sorry, I interrupted your train of thought. In terms of the players, making them believe that your methods were working.
No, I think we already proved in nearly 10 years here in Southampton or Tottenham. But the circumstance, we are living another reality. It's not a magic thing. If not, you need to go to find Copperfield and bring Copperfield to do the magician. Not here, but it's impossible.
How much,
time.
in a way, when you see your squad today, that 11 just picks itself. That's probably the easiest 11 you've ever had to pick in your life. Sometimes, does that make it a little bit easier? Because when you have such a big squad, players coming in, vast amounts of money, and it gives you sometimes a problem. But that one today was probably, this is what I know I've got, and I can deal with it.
Now, the problem is, when people shush, players, when players are not in a best form, in the best form, competing, but because people believe that because it's a name, should play, but it's not in form or it's not, in their best. And I think the team from the beginning of the season, I think we suffered too many problems that sometimes the names were there, but not in our best. And never really we get the belief, to say we need to play in this way. I think too many individual, target or objective before to the team. I think it's true what you say, Jimmy, because I think, today was the easier, selection for us. But in the same time, we showed to everyone that it's not about name football. It's about to be competitive, to behave like a team. Even if you have big players, big names, if they don't play like today, trying to help the team in a defensive situation, and when we have the ball, to believe that in every single action in an offensive situation we can score, this is impossible because it's so competitive, the Premier League.
Yeah. And you said the players need time. You've got a very young team. How much do... We're so quick to judge managers. How much do managers need time?
I don't care about how you judge me or the.
No, I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying managers need time now. When you've only been here a year, you've got to get rid of. You've got to get this squad in the team and playing how you want.
Or before yesterday, the media asked me about the. Sorry, maybe. Rush. I need to speak quick. Or
no, we've got loads of time.
Loads of time.
You asked me about the battle of the bridge 8 years ago, and when you see. The squad, Ivanovic, Cahill, Sean Terry, and when you see after the table they finished 10 on the table with 50 points. Was Hazard, was William, was Diego Costa, was Cesc Fabregas, was Matic, was Obi Mikel. That was the big player that already they proved that they can fight. But with this team, with young guys, of course, I'm going to get the responsibility. But in the same time, with all the circumstances. Look, maybe because today we won and maybe I can explain a little bit better. But I want to say enough is enough. I think all the managers need time, to translate the ideas and the philosophy more when the team is like, how that squad is, and we need to have time.
Well, let me ask you.
It's not my decision.
Well, do you fear that decision could be taken out of your hands, the way that you're talking? Do you feel like you are being judged by the Chelsea hierarchy?
I don't know. It's difficult to see, every single week that I am under scrutiny and under judgment, And yes, but it's not my decision to be here or not to be here.
If you are here next year, is it unrealistic to think that you could turn Chelsea into, I don't know, title challenges, Champions League challenges? You tell me.
I cannot tell you. I cannot say nothing. What I can say, if after the circumstance or the decision or thing that happened in some way or in another, Chelsea, if we want to match the history of Chelsea, I think it's a lot of work to do. And we'll see if we have time to build this way.
But that must just give you a little feeling tonight that it's possible, doesn't it?
No, my feeling that I am so proud about this guy, about all the squad that we have, 25, 27 players, that for me, we work for them, we work for our player, I work for them, and we want the best for them. And until the last day, we are going to try to help them.
We wish you well with it, Mauricio.
Thank you so much.
We could have kept you longer, but we'll let you go. Thank you.
Mauricio, good to see you, man. Well done. Congratulations.
What do you make of that?
I don't know. No, I think after that, I think it was a great result, and I think obviously there may be, I don't know, did he not maybe at times maybe understands what we were trying to say. But I think overall, I think today was their best performance, and he can't control anything else. That's what I took from it, and I don't know really.
This is a club that wins. You've only got to look throughout the history, but it's had a lot of bumps in the road, even when they had successes, Champions League wins. As he mentioned that year, I think they finished 10th. A lot of managers have come and gone, really good managers. I look at it and think, right now, when you're trying to build a young team, and I think in the summer they need to bring in a few experienced heads just to help them, because you're going to lose Thiago Silva, etc. I think you need continuity on the bench. I think the last thing they need to be doing right now is changing the manager for a number of reasons. One, there's not many candidates out there. You've only got to look how hard it is to find elite managers in world football. Now, I've always been a big fan of him. I think, especially when you've got young players, I looked at the job he did at Tottenham initially when he was there. It was fantastic. They were very close to winning something. It didn't go their way. Obviously, he's been to PSG, he's been to other clubs. But I just sensed, I quite like what I saw there. I saw a little bit of anger in him. Because there's been times this year when I felt he's been a little bit like passive and been trying to be everyone's friend. He's not like that. He wasn't like that as a player, and he wasn't like that in his Tottenham days. So I think looking at him now, I think they'd be crazy to get rid of him.
Is it a little bit, do you think, maybe, Karen, that he's using tonight because they've won a big game against their big London rivals and put on a good performance as well, that he's using that as a platform to sort of stick his chest out and say it's unfair to keep scrutinising me in the way that I have been scrutinised?
I think he has, and because I've interviewed him for the cup final, and he obviously kept saying about his frustrations about not being able to pick his team. And you're right, this was the only options he had to go with tonight. He's got to make the young players believe a little bit, and I do think it was one of their best performances. So he's probably coming here and thinking, great. But again, like everything you have around Chelsea, there's this such expectation from the last 20 years that this is about winning, delivering trophies, and they're not there yet. And you're right, he's going to take time, and he was mentioning those players because again he has to manage everyone's expectations. You know, the Hazards, the Cahills, the John Terrys. He doesn't have that. No.
But that was a statement win for him, I felt today.
It was brilliant.
I think it was a statement win. You know, as he said, who knows what happens next year? But it's unprecedented what we've seen at this club with the length of contracts that players have been given. I'm not sure that's healthy. I think giving young players 8, 9-year contracts, 7, 8, 9-year contracts, is not going to really benefit anybody. When you're playing football as a young man, you need to be pushing for something every single day. I think it makes people comfortable. They get in their armchairs. I've got as long as I want it. I'm getting paid a lot of money. How hard have I got to try and train in? For some, it wouldn't make a slightest bit of difference. But if you're inclined to just maybe not push yourself at times, that's what can happen. You know, complacency can start to sort of slip into your performances. There's been a lot of players, even more so than him, that have had criticism of me. I look at Moises Caicedo, who early in the season was really poor, so off it, and I was thinking, what is that player that I saw at Brighton? But today I started to see glimpses of the Moises Caicedo that we were speaking about so highly at Brighton. Enzo Fernandez, to a certain extent, is a bit of a problem. I think when I watch him in this league, and I watch him, obviously the World Cup winner, it seems a bit quick for him. Now, he's been here, I think, 18 months. He needs to improve if he wants to become work in the Premier League. But there are a lot of positives here as well, but it's just going to take time.
Do they have tough decisions to make, whether it's an Enzo Fernandez or keeping Conor Gallagher and giving him the kind of contract that his camp will feel that he deserves? The Chelsea fans would like to see that happen as well. Is it got to be a summer of being quite ruthless in the Chelsea camp?
Well, what I did take from that was he's not interested in the big names. He needs a connecting team. So some people might not fit in that system, and you're right. You might have to say, I need a youngster in there because I know that they can run, I know they can do this. I might have to sell one of the top players that we all think.
But what do you think, though, Kat? When you say Conor Gallagher, you know, with the rules and everything, by selling homegrown talent, and you see there was a massive banner unfolded over my left shoulder that said about Conor Gallagher, and I thought, you cannot let a young talent like that go. Someone that cares about the club. You know, I said before the game.
I mean, look at that.
I said before the game he's been the player of the year. I'd completely forgotten about that young man, Cole Palmer. But he hasn't been far off. He has been magnificent this year, and he cares for the club. And you can't, because it helps financial fair play, sell him. It's just defeating the object of what you're trying to achieve at a club, because they've always loved the players coming through. You know, like Sir John Terry. Well, they haven't had that many, but you've got one here that you can see genuinely cares. Why don't you just make sure that you keep him? It's not about playing games. It's not always about financial fair play. It's about a little bit of care and attention for your homegrown talent.
Statement win for Chelsea, says Jamie over Spurs tonight. Let's get our first reaction from the Tottenham dressing room. Mickey van der Ven is talking to Patrick Davison.
With the season, Tottenham have set high standards for themselves. Did you fall below those today, as a group?
Yeah. Today was not a good performance for us, and I think we can do much better, play much better football, and today it was not good enough.
Okay, what was missing?
Yeah, the first half we don't even try to play. We try to build up, but we don't even come out. And when we came out, we don't really push forward. I think we didn't create even something in the first half. And then the second half, you want to come out stronger and want to play. And I think we tried to play also the second half, but there was not that confidence today to make the goal.
I was just going to ask. Sometimes teams get in ruts and confidence goes. Is that where you are as a group right now?
No, I don't want to say our confidence is gone. And Sunday's a big game upcoming, and it's important we cover well and we take a look back at this game, and we have to bounce back better, of course, for the weekend.
It's another couple of goals from set pieces. Does defending there, I know that the second one with the shot on goal is slightly different, but does every kind of ball that goes into your box from a set piece at the moment feel like hard work to defend?
No, because we know what to do, but every ball goes in at the moment, and it's not falling on us. And of course we have to watch back on it, and it can't happen that, of course, 2 goals again are coming for set pieces, so we have to work on it again, and we have to look back on it. But it's not that every time when they have a set piece I'm like, this is going to be a goal or something.
And listen, you'll be expecting this question. A couple of months ago you looked good for the Champions League. Does that now look and feel a long way off?
Yeah, of course it's going to be difficult. We lost now 2 games in a row. Also after this game I don't really want to look up to the Champions League, because we didn't have a good performance today, and it's important we play a good game on Sunday, and we play the upcoming 4 games a good game. I think that's the most important for us right now.
Listen, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
More set pieces conceded from Spurs. They've lost their last 3 now. It's 20 years since they lost 4 on the bounce, so we know what's next for them. A trip to Anfield this coming Sunday, and a Liverpool team that will feel like they want to bounce back as well. We had a great view of it tonight, just sitting behind the dugouts and watching the managers. You could see how happy and relaxed Mauricio Pochettino looked right from the start as his team were on the front foot. It couldn't have been a greater contrast, Karen, watching Postecoglou as his team really struggled to get up the pitch tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen him so animated, and he dug about 3 or 4 players out individually. And because it just worked, they couldn't get out, like you said. And we mentioned at the start of the game, get it to your individual players, to Son in particular, and they didn't. And that passage of play led to this, and it led to the goal, which was obviously gone through with Chalobah. But again, the defensive spray, Cucurella there blocking it. Chalobah mentioned, we highlighted it, we saw it from the last game. They vacate that back space there, and it wasn't like difficult for Chelsea. Good block, and Chalobah gets a free head, and you're thinking again, Tottenham, you've been on the back foot just because you're not addressing this situation.
You were asking the question, Jamie, is it the case that you see it Mickey van der Ven now, who's a giant, Richarlison good in the air, is it the case that they want those players between the posts a little bit because they fear the danger is less from outside?
Yeah, there is that, but then the answer would be, well, look what happens when you don't mark situations. Now, when you're in the dressing room, you get I'm sure the coaches go through who's marking who. Obviously, from wide areas, that'll be a zonal defending. I just feel, again, as a player, someone has to take the responsibility where you look round, you're setting up for that set piece, and you see a problem behind you. You see 2 massive guys, Badiashile and Chalobah. Now, I don't understand why, as a leader in that team, you would say, OK, I'm going to go and do that. That's trouble at the back post. You can't leave Brennan Johnson, and I think the next one was the right back, played left back today. Emerson Royale. So he's the other one. Now, you've got to be, alarm bells have to be ringing, and someone's got to say, listen, I know this is a setup, I know what the coaches want, but one of us has just got to go and make sure we mark. You can see the block is really clever. This happens all the time in modern football. And that once, you can't be giving someone a free header from just outside the 6-yard box. And I have to think that, looking at the coaches, looking at the organisation and saying, who's doing that? It isn't the right setup.
And it was a great message from Chalobah, wasn't it? There is a professional footballer who plays for Chelsea who's telling everyone that he's working so hard on the training ground, trying to improve his heading.
Look, and this is why. And it was an absolute fabulous header because it's distance, he's got to get trajectory on it as well. You know, it's absolutely brilliant. You can see he has.
15 set pieces conceded, and the first half was really one to forget for Spurs, despite the fact it was only 1-0 at half-time. They couldn't get Son in the game in that first half. He had 17 touches. They came out stronger. He had 10 in the first 10 minutes of the second half, but still they couldn't find a way through Chelsea, and then they got themselves up the other end, and we know how deadly Cole Palmer is from these free kicks. So this again goes down as another set piece conceded. But let's talk about Nicholas Jackson's role in it, Jamie.
Unbelievable. Talking about using your neck muscles, making sure you can get everything on you can, and you wind that neck up, and you just got to get as much power. And you can see he's outside the 6-yard box. It's bouncing. It's not an easy one to generate the power. The free kick is so unlucky. It's magic. And then he just manages to head it over the two defenders. I think it's Son and Højbjerg. Nobody really goes to try and win the initial header with him. They leave it and try and get back on the line, and they can't do it in time. But look at that power he generates. Really, really good header.
What about his overall play tonight, Karen, leading the line for Chelsea?
I think my thought is he scores the difficult ones, and the easier ones he seems to miss. But his overall performance, he's growing into it, definitely. I thought he could link up to him. He's threatening on the pace and behind.
Was he one of those players that Mauricio Pochettino might have been referencing, the fact that it wasn't just when Chelsea were in possession that he had a really important role? It was out of possession as well.
I think that was more Madueke, and he mentioned that because he had to drop in to make a 5 the last 15-20 minutes. But he was key. I think it was just the whole team. They all knew their responsibilities. They all dug in, and he got his goal, and that was really difficult, like you said.
He's instinctive, isn't he? He's not one of them that's just, you know, you put him in front of goal sometimes and he can miss it. But those ones are actually, like you say, look harder. He makes them look quite easy.
Yeah, because he had a lot of time. He had to adjust his feet, miss the 2 players out on the line. I thought it was a really good header.
That's 11 goals he scored from open play this season, which is the most in this Chelsea team. So he just needs to get the penalties, doesn't he?
Don't get him started
Let's not go there again.
Reactions from Pochettino after Chelsea's victory over Tottenham. They've been dominant over their rivals from the north of London, and that continued tonight. They drew with Aston Villa, lost to Arsenal, beat Everton 6-0, and then also conceded so many goals. A rare clean sheet for them tonight. That's the second clean sheet they've kept in 8 Premier League matches. So that for you, I know, is a huge positive.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a great night for them, isn't it? You know, a clean sheet, 2 goals against a rival. So yeah, they'll be delighted tonight. But it's certainly something I'm sure obviously they'll look to address. You know, working in the summer and into next season. It's too many goals to concede in a season. You know, to give yourself half a chance of being up there, you need to eradicate that.
More goals already conceded at this stage of the season than they have in any full Premier League season so far. And that's what you're talking about. Just from Pochettino's point of view, he said he was so happy and so pleased tonight. What a difference a couple weeks makes, because the picture looks so different now for Chelsea, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, you look back about, 6-7 weeks ago, there was little whispers that, is he going to lose his job? I'm really pleased for him because I like Mauricio. He's a great man. He really is a nice man, and I'm pleased to see him turning it round. Actually, he's got that consistency in results. I think he'll prefer some consistent performances. As I've said, strangely enough, they've performed very well against the better teams in the league, and the cup games they got up for, they really could have easily beaten City in the semi-final, the FA Cup. So they could end up in Europe this year, which would be a real bonus for them from where they were 6-7 weeks ago. I think he'll be absolutely delighted with the way they're playing, and there's a foundation, there's a stepping stone for next season, and there will be more progression next season. That's, I think, how he'll be looking at it. If European football comes along, that's a bonus.
I'm going to take a closer look at one aspect of Chelsea's play tonight, and that's the role of Marc Cucurella. I think you're going to lead us on this, Glenn. What he was doing and how that freed up Cole Palmer. Yeah,
tactically it was something quite different. They did it in the second half against Villa, and they totally dominated the game. But we see Cucurella, look, he's not the only left back that's gone into that midfield area, but the key to it, the reason they've gone in there, is because Palmer played on the right hand side in that little pocket there and was free to make little runs and get 2v1s against Emerson Royale, and that was very clever from Chelsea. I think that surprised Tottenham. The midfield couldn't get hold of Palmer at all. Again, Cucurella goes in there, makes the spare player. 2 Tottenham players go in there and mark him. Look, there he is, free as a bird, and he's hurting you in them positions. and that's when they were very progressive. That was tactically very good for them tonight from Chelsea, and the slight change, which I think they learnt from the second half when they were 2-0 down against Villa.
It is quite different for Chelsea to do that as well. I think we're very used to seeing the likes of Man City do that with the full-backs. So it is a different tactic from them tonight, which I thought, like you said, worked very well. Also, you know, the Tottenham player has to go back in and track him, which just leaves the one up top, which, you know, the two centre-backs can control. But you're overloading that midfield, you're putting an extra body in that midfield and allowing, like Glenn said, Palmer to get in them little pockets and be clever in their moments.
Normally where you see Palmer's map, it's all over the place. It's left, it's right, it's centre, it's dropping in. Mostly there, it's on the right-hand side of the pitch, and Cucurella's is really in the central positions. Obviously, he had to do some defending at times as well, but that was clever from Chelsea, it really was.
Yeah, just looking at Cucurella's 72 touches and Cole Palmer and what we were showing you, where majority of that was happening. Let's look at the fixtures that Chelsea have left, because as we showed you in terms of the Premier League table, they're in the conversation for Europe. I suppose that all depends on what happens in the FA Cup, because, you know, 6th could be good enough to qualify for a European place. So we're looking at the fixtures that they've got remaining and their run. And this is Chelsea.
I was probably a little bit negative earlier, to be honest. Obviously, they're in the conversation now, for sure. So we'll see. And they are winnable games, you know, for Chelsea. If they go out and perform similar to what they did today, they are definitely 4 winnable games for them. So, you know, let's see how the rest of the season plays out.
It's never easy on paper. Every game in the Premier League is difficult. But those 3 teams there, West Ham, Brighton and Bournemouth, they're bobbing along. They're in that central position there. You know, obviously Forest are fighting for every point they can get, but, you know, it's a nice time of the year to play those 3 teams that can't go really up, can't go down, and they're just waiting for the end of the season.
We're going to get more post-match reaction now to this victory for Chelsea. We're going back to Stamford Bridge to hear from the keeper, Jure Petrovic.
Tunnel on the final whistle, there were lots of happy shouts, joyous cries. I mean, how does that feel to win that game like that?
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, because this is one of the biggest derby in the league, and also the London derby, and we are very happy to because we made a win today, and also with a clean sheet, and that feeling is amazing.
Tell me about the first half. I mean, you were a virtual just spectator. How good was that first half, especially?
Yeah, we had a very good first half. Yeah, we played very well and we controlled the game. Also the second half, for me, we controlled the game, and they start to play more aggressive. But I think we defensively as well and offensively we did a very good job.
I could pick out a number of players, but someone we talk about a lot is Cole Palmer. You've obviously played with him for a long time this season. How impressed have you been? Just how does he keep producing these moments of magic?
You asked me about the Cole? Yeah, Cole bring a lot of points for us, and yeah, he made in the match in April. He had the two amazing ones. So yeah, we very appreciate because we have him, and he's also the very nice guy, and we are very happy to have him.
Chelsea scored a goal in each half tonight, but we just heard from Petrovic, the keeper there, that it was really the first half, Gary, that they dominated and where they were outstanding.
Yeah, they were. They set the stall out in the first half, and like we said, they performed very well. There was a lot of energy about the squad, and nullified Tottenham. We were talking, or I was talking before, about the front four, and I thought that was going to be the battle. You know, the back four for Chelsea, who have not played many games together, up against, you know, 4 established strikers that can cause a threat. And it was a total opposite. Chelsea's back four was in control, nullified the threats. Yeah, went from strength to strength.
Very different to on the weekend, where they were better in the second half against Villa. They came out and they were better right from the get-go.
Yeah, but that's the result. They were 2 down against Villa. They changed a couple of things. They put Cucurella in there. And also, you know, when you're 2-0 down, the chains come off. It's easier sometimes to play. You're not happy that you're 2 down, but it's easier to play. You've got nothing to lose. And today, professional second half, they've come in, they've gone 1, well, we should be 3-0 up, we're not. and we've dominated Tottenham first half. They've not got through us. They've played in front of us all day long. They're going to come out and play a little bit better, which they had more possession. But Chelsea were very professional in the sense that you can play in front of us, you're not getting in behind us, and then they said, we'll hit you on the counter, we'll just play our game and be sensible. That, to me, is Chelsea learning. Those youngsters are learning and they're progressing slowly but surely.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's about managing the game, isn't it? And you're going to go 90 minutes, for example. You said at half-time, didn't you, Glenn, that you expected that Tottenham was not going to play as poorly in the second half as they did the first half. It didn't get a great deal better, but they started the second half better. And Chelsea managed that situation. You know, there's going to be elements in the game where you are up against it a little bit and you have to manage them situations, which I thought they did very well. Obviously, they get the second goal and it's dead and buried at that stage.
Right, we've heard from one goalkeeper now. We're going to get post-match thoughts from the goalkeeper on the other end. Here's Spurs keeper Vicario.
Describe your disappointment after that.
Yeah, it's a big disappointment. I don't know where I have to start from. Of course, we lost another game. It's tough. It's very painful now. So yeah, we just have to recover and go again on Sunday.
How far below what you needed was the team's performance in the first half?
I don't know, it's not... Now it's hard to analyse that. After defeat, I think it's hard. We're going to have a review tomorrow.
Tell me about set pieces, because it's a constant discussion of how often Spurs concede from them. How frustrating is it when you look up and suddenly there's 2 or 3 players, free headers coming your way?
Oh, I think set pieces are a mindset, a demand from ourselves, and just to have the desire to win the first ball. Just that. And today, yeah, we conceded 1 too easy from Chalobah. Because, yeah, it's the man to want to win the ball and to don't accept the blocks. But I think everything starts from our mindset. We are not at the level we have to be.
Only 1 clean sheet in 17 in the Premier League for you. I know it's a team game. How much does that hurt, though?
Yeah, I don't look at the stats now. It's not important to look at 1 clean sheet, 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't mind.
Fair enough. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, look, it's not good enough, and look, I've got to take responsibility for that. That's on me. I'm the manager. I'm the one that's putting them out there, and it was nowhere near good enough. And as I said, I've got to have a look at sort of myself in all this and see how I can have more of an impact.
So, just on what you're saying there, where do you feel as manager you've fallen short?
Well, when we put on a performance like we did in the first half, it means obviously my message isn't getting through. So that's for me to address.
Okay. What was the message that didn't get through?
Come on, mate. We didn't play well. I mean, what do you want me to sit there and write your dossier on where we went wrong? Like I said, I'll take responsibility. We were poor in the first half. Still think their goal was a foul, but no one cares about that. And but we didn't deserve anything more than that. And like I said, that's on me.
Okay. Are you just looking for a bit of fluency in midfield? Have you got a few too many that have all lost form together?
We definitely lost some conviction and belief in our football, for sure. Not just the midfield, just in general, I think we've lost a little bit, like I said, belief and conviction in our football. And again, that's the responsibility on me to change that.
And defensive set pieces will come under the microscope again. Both goals came that way. Were you more unhappy, particularly with the first goal, with the build-up to the free kick? Even before that ball went in, I could see you were unhappy with something.
Well, like I said, I mean, look, I thought their goal was a foul, but aside from that, it wasn't about conceding the goal. It was about our approach to our football, and we're just nowhere near good enough. We were nowhere near as positive as we need to be, and again, that's on me.
Okay. Look, and I know you said in the build-up to this you weren't concerned about set pieces. I think you said you weren't interested. Genuine question. When they seem to decide so many matches, why aren't you interested?
That's a really good question. I didn't say I wasn't interested. I said it's not my priority, but that's okay. If people think that what we're missing is set pieces, that's fine. I'll do my job.
Okay. I remember you saying, like, when things were going well, the sun was shining, 10 unbeaten, there would be difficult moments. Did you know kind of moments like this would be round the corner at some point?
Yeah, we've been in a bit of a grind for a while now, but you know that's part of our challenge and part of our growth. You know, we're not sitting 18th in the table.
Okay, how'd you get out of the grind?
You know, we just go out there and perform, and sometimes you just got to grind it out and get through it. So, look, we were poor today, and we didn't deserve to get anything out of the game.
Yeah, look, and I know you've said it many times, Champions League's not the be-all and end-all, but does that look a long way off now?
I don't know how to answer these questions. As I said, we were poor today, and that's where my focus is. What's the point of thinking about anything else other than that we didn't perform today? And like I said, my responsibility is to make sure that we perform better next time.
Okay. Thank you.